Pigs game.
Yeah, I can.
Oh my god. Jake, can I put this down a bit? Okay. Jake, because mum can hear it. It's too loud. Alright, let's... Have you popped up as live on Twitch yet?
I'm checking.
Yes, baby. It's open. It's here. Okay, just don't fall. Okay.
There you go.
Yes, baby.
Bye.
Okay, there you go. You can hear it.
All right. Here we are.
Hey, di double. Mano po.
Hello.
Mano
Hi.
po. Negative
Thanks
one.
for joining.
Ano ba yan?
First the worst. Oh, that's a song. Ooh, the subs. Thanks, Jeff.
Oh, can you see the icon?
Can you see who's in here yet?
Who's that? DJ. You lot are crazy, man.
And to anyone who's listening offline, hello, or like not on Twitch, hi to you all.
Careful, baby.
So, okay, let's get started with this. So, last week we had a little introduction of me and my fellow this way. We just had the chat, like who we are and what we do. So you can probably tell, like, well, I am a newbie streamer on here. Sam's been streaming music, but this is really new for me. I can tell you a bit about myself. My name's Tanya. A lot of you have seen me on here. I go as Tanya Marie. On Instagram, I go as Hugutera Diaries. So I have many names. I grew up, I'm from Sweden, mixed Filipina. I've lived in London, Australia, and the Philippines. So if my accent changes throughout this stream, you know why. That's why. So if you're wondering, like, oh, I don't know where she's from, that just that explains it. But yeah, so yeah, Sam, maybe you want to tell them who you are and what you do.
Yeah, I am a mom right now. 1 second. Come here, Jake. Get that for me. It's okay. All right, then. Oh, hey, Melissa. Thanks for passing through. Celine, Jeff, D-Double, DJ Amber. So I am Buhay Taglish. I am the wife of that guy who fell asleep on Twitch. He is my lucky husband. I'm based in the UK. So my page really is just Filipino words, Filipino books, Filipino food, Filipino music. Sorry, 1 sec. So on our last show, it was just a free flow. We just went with the flow. We didn't have an agenda. We didn't have a script.
Nothing. We just
did whatever.
Yeah.
Came natural, and we actually had fun, even though it was unscripted.
3 hours of fun. We didn't even realize time went by so quickly.
It's okay. Just give him my phone now. How is that?
It's too down.
So yeah,
Sorry.
but the reason why we started this is both Sam and I, we've got a love for our heritage, especially our Filipino heritage, and we just wanted a platform where we could talk about what we love about our culture and what we don't love so much about, or our culture and growing up in the Western world. but having the Filipino culture. And also what we have in common as well is that we've both lived in the Philippines as kids. So we have we've experienced Philippines like firsthand in that sense, like gone to school there. But yeah, so we wanted to give people a platform. We want to focus on especially like female Filipinas, where they can have a space to talk and to share their stories, their life stories, as much as we're here to share our stories and our life stories as well. But yeah, so that's basically how what we're doing. And for any non-Filipino here who's wondering, oh, okay, Sira Sira, you've spelt it wrong. I know it's based on a song, but we've just taken that phrase and played around with a Filipino word, which is Sira, and Sira means broken. So basically, but it also means kind of like crazy, mad, and we didn't want to use the word as like in the mental health aspect, but more of the madness around us, the madness of multitasking, being a mom, and for example, Sam, she's a full-time nurse and just juggling the crazy life.
Don't play on the thing.
So, but yeah, so
right now I'm juggling the crazy life.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the reality of it.
Yes, baby. No, because you're shaking the table.
So yeah, and today, like Sam was saying, last week we didn't really have a structure, but this week we have a guest, and I'm sure a lot of you, if you're tuning in outside of Twitch, you'll know her because you're probably here supporting her. But if you're on Twitch, you know her as Charlene June. So should we bring in Charlene June?
Yeah, sure. Let me just set this up for you guys.
It's so weird saying Charlene June because
Charlene.
Charlene June. I don't know.
I can't say Charlene. CJ. That's how I was introduced to her, and that's how she's on my phone as CJ.
So, shall we drum roll?
Oh, guys, we have a level 2 hype level.
Oh,
hype train level.
Hype train. Thanks,
Sorry,
guys.
Level 3. Thank you for the sub.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I've always
wanted
to say that. Thank you for the biddies. I've always wanted to say thank you for the biddies. Sorry, I'm such a newbie on here. So.
It's cool. The guys, our husbands. Thank you to our husbands.
Thank you, husbands. Thank you,
we
Jeff.
Love you. We
Aww.
love you so much.
Oh.
Thank you, guys. Oh my God, we're on level 3 hype level.
Yay.
Such a fob. Hype train.
Hype. Everyone
train.
Outside Twitch is wondering what is
Elephant.
going on.
Thank you. Thank you for the BEs. Ink Fat. Aww. Yes, baby. You want me to? 1 second, babe. What my name? Okay.
So where is Charlene June?
We are. You ready, Charlene? We're coming for you.
Oh, hype train.
Hey!
Hey!
We're on the hype train.
Oh, thanks for the sub.
Stormzy, thank you for the bees. She's here. DJ FBM. Oh my gosh.
We haven't even started and there's already
I know. Oh my God.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Rami, thank you. Sorry, I'm just scrolling back.
Yeah.
Is that your name? Wow. The double. Who else is there?
Charlene.
Roses is here.
Hi.
Our manager is here. Celine.
Oh,
our manager. Our manager's here. Melissa's here. Oh wow, we are level 5 hype train, guys. Oh my God,
That's
level
madness.
5. It's so weird. Before we start, hubbies, how is it seeing all your misses? It's the other way around now. We've taken
our
over.
We're
time.
taking up this space now.
We've taken
Move
over.
over. Move
We
over.
have things to say too.
It's Donnie. Donnie Blaze. Thank you for the biddies. I want
Oh
that
my
in
God.
pounds, yeah, in real life, Don. Yeah, thank you. Jackie Mac, thank you. Roses, thank you.
See, she's an expert. She knows.
Yeah, so you can do the vocals.
I'm
Sam.
just
I
like,
can,
you know.
I
Take it
can be
away.
the vocal. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, this is
thank you
crazy.
guys.
Martin
Aw.
here, Ramit's here.
It's not the wags,
Oh.
it's the swags.
The swags.
The swags. Inkfat, thank you. Or the twags, the twitches, twitch
The
wags.
twags, yeah. The Twitch
Ellie
wives and girlfriends.
Funk. It's so weird being on
Oh,
the other
man.
side.
I know.
And the hubbies being mods. Welcome
Like,
to the mod world.
Especially for me.
About
Like,
time.
I know.
oh, thanks everyone. Thanks. It's funny, isn't it, CJ? Like, you and me always talk about how coming onto Twitch.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, personally, my experience, like, when James first came on it and he was telling me about it, and I was like, okay, great. No, I think he was telling me
it's
Elvin.
another-
Elvin's.
Guys,
Yeah,
if you are
it's that they're
subbing or you've been
streaming.
gifted a sub, we actually do have one emote. There
Yeah.
you go. Thank you, Ellie
Mahal
Funk.
kita. Mahal kita.
Mahal kita. For anyone that's not Filipino, that means I
Means
love you.
I love you.
Share some love in the room. Oh, Jake, Uncle Donnie says hello.
Hello, Daddy. Ah! Look what you're done.
Sorry, Uncle.
Aw. But yeah,
It's okay.
So yeah, so we were just talking like how we came onto Twitch, and like I never saw myself doing something like this, especially last year as well. But when James was telling me about it, especially like he was telling me, oh, Elvin's on this, and I was like, oh, okay, good for him. Like, you know. And then when he was like, oh, I'm gonna go on it as well, and I was like, okay. I was like, sounds good. But the thing is, I didn't have fun, and like I wasn't really listening. And then but then like when he went on that first time, I remember his first stream, and then I just saw this chat, and then I saw like all this love from like loads of people, and I was like, oh, this is really nice. Like obviously at first I was like really confused. So I was like, you know, I don't know, I can't keep up. Like I can't keep up with the chat now.
Don't worry, I've got it.
But at the beginning, and then I was like, oh, all these strangers are saying hello to me and like giving me love, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I know I'm gonna go straight into it, because at that point, I was going through a difficult time. I'd just come off like a couple of months of like social media detox, and it wasn't like the greatest point in my life, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate, especially last year wasn't the best year for a lot of people. If anything, it's probably the worst year for a lot of people for many obvious reasons. But I think it was really refreshing coming onto Twitch, and it was Sam that like kind of like, she's like, oh, are you gonna go on it? And I was like, what is that? I was like, I don't know. I said, that's not me. And here I am.
But it is you now, though.
Yeah, and
It is
especially
now.
you as well, CJ. Like,
For sure.
like we've known CJ. Both Sam and I have known CJ for a long time. Like I've known CJ since she was a kid. So yeah, I call her CJ, by the way. So it's really weird saying Charlene June. Because I really don't know her as Charlene June. It's like I don't feel comfortable saying Charlene June. But yeah, so like in our group, we're basically the introverts, which would say like, yeah, okay, I'm with people that we know, we're very open, but in a group and like like I would say we sit there quietly and observe and like, you know, and I think we're often mistaken for being like suplada or masungit. And for people like that don't understand Tagalog, supplies masungit is like kind of like stush or
Yeah.
um,
Unfriendly or
unfriendly.
a bit
Like I think,
guarded.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think that's the biggest misconception as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why James is like, he was like, remember to smile when when you're on stream. So yeah. But yeah, so we've invited you here today, obviously, and you're our very first guest. So thank you.
Yay! She's our first guest.
Yeah.
So I just want to say before we start the chat is thank you everyone. Hype train is done. We got to level 5.
Oh my God, thank
Wow,
you.
So I want to thank everyone in the
amazing.
chat. Thank you for your love.
Thank you,
everyone who sent bitties, who subbed, who gifted sub. Thank you.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, so we are good
Thanks,
with the hype
guys.
train.
Thanks, everyone.
So there's some new people that's come in.
Hi,
Raf, this is
send me a
Raf has
second
joined in.
screen.
Hi.
Bong
Oh my
has
God, I'm so
joined.
overwhelmed. I
Who
feel like
else?
crying.
Oh,
Not yet.
good man. We can do
Sorry.
this.
We'll cry later. We'll do the crying later.
I've got a twirly already.
Oh, where's James's towel? I need James's towel. But I don't need it for
Powie
sweat.
style.
I need it for my like tears. The Powie's towel. But yeah, so we want to invite you on here to talk about your, what would you call it, a non-profit
Yeah.
community that you and
Yeah.
Jeff have created.
Yeah.
If you can just tell us like how it came about, like it would be nice to know like the moment where you guys kind of like went, hey, let's do this.
Let's do it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, firstly, thank you guys for having me, Tanya and Sam, for being a first guest. And it's also my first solo interview, so this is also quite a big thing for me too. If it was a year ago and someone was saying, you'll be live streaming a year from now, I'll be like, I don't believe it. But I think I've consciously said to myself, you know what, I need to step out of my comfort zone a little bit. And this can resonate to anybody else as well who's listening. It's time for us to step out of our comfort zone and just allow ourselves to grow, because this is how we're growing, by actually doing things which are feeling uncomfortable. So thank you guys for doing this with me. So Never Alone, yeah. So I myself am a co-founder of Never Alone, with my hubby who's in the chat, Jeff Charlene Music. So Never Alone is a non-profit grassroots association, and it's basically just a community that can hopefully we can build, help uplift other people, and be a support network for others that are going through difficult times. We started our we started our community back in December. So last year, my dad passed away in actually 2019 from a rare cancer, and this was just before Christmas 2019, and then 3 months after, Jeff's dad passed away also from unknown cancer. So that was the turning point for us, that we're just like, actually, do you know what, a lot has happened. We need to come to terms with what we're going through. We're going through grieving, but also at the same time, we're like, there is a purpose behind this, because both of us having to experience the same thing within 6 months of each other, both having our dads pass away from the same exact, well, very similar cancers, and for us to experience it in such a short space of time, there had to be a purpose towards it. So I think it came to, I'm not sure when the pivotal point was, but I think we also always wanted to do something that would help other people, and I think that was our push towards doing it. So in December, I think it was the second week of December, we actually decided to do a non-profit fundraiser for Cancer 52, and they're basically a charity that give a voice to rare and less common cancers, and they're an organization built of about 100 communities that are of the cancer community that are usually overlooked at over in the UK. It also stems from Jeff's song that he produced after our dad's passed, called Never Alone, which I'm sure quite a few of you have heard already. So that was in honor of our dads, and it went from the song to also going through to the fundraiser, and now it's actually become a community that we hope can uplift other people and just bring each other closer, and also be there for when times are hard and for when people are grieving, because we have been through that process and we kind of know not exactly how everybody feels, but we know how it feels from our own experience, and we can try to give guidance to other people. So yeah, and we also do music events and wellbeing events. So also last February, so last month, we hosted and presented this All Asian festival, the world's biggest All Asian music festival, that was actually online, and there was about 180 acts, and we had 16 acts on our stage, so that was a real good success. And again, it's just something that we want to bring awareness to causes that are sometimes overlooked. So All Asian music is something that we don't tend to hear about, so it's good for us to be part of things which are meaningful to us and other people. So yeah, this is
That's
who we
really
are.
nice. So so you're raising like the awareness like of this. You know what? I've been thinking about this never alone concept, and it's funny because I spoke to you last week, and I was just jotting down like just notes on like, what can we talk about, and what came to mind, and I actually like didn't even think about your concept like never alone, but I was writing something, and then I just wrote, well, people don't want to, like, we're not alone in this, and then it just made so much sense, like what you're doing makes so much sense, like,
and it just happened quite organically as well.
Yeah. And then yesterday, actually, I was on Rose's stream, and she was also saying like she was doing her day. Quote me if I don't know if I'm wrong, but I don't know if you're here, Roses. But she was talking about like most people want to know that they're not alone in certain situations.
Yeah.
I think it's comforting
Yeah.
for a lot of people, or most people. Like,
and I think everybody should understand that although our situation is probably different, it doesn't mean that you're by yourself going through it, because there's going to be somebody out there who's lost somebody, who's grieving for something, but although it's not exactly the same, it's similar, so everyone can relate in some way, shape or form.
Exactly what you said, grieving. It's not just grieving someone's passing, but it's also grieving something in life, like something in life.
We've all grieved.
Like exactly. Like
I think
sometimes
one
like
thing
if
that
you
sorry, Jonathan.
no, sorry. Like if you go through depression or anxiety, like you're grieving yourself, aren't you? Like it's part of you that that you don't recognize anymore, and that but there's so many. Let's talk about the pandemic. We're in like this one big communal, we're grieving together in this pandemic. So it's not easy for anyone, especially like all the new we have to adjust. We have no choice. Like we've been thrown into this situation where now you have to adjust. You have to learn to like live with this, and that's not easy because like most people, well, I'm not like I'm most people are usually scared of change. I have to admit, like, I'm scared of change.
And I think
scary.
that's a normal thing, because as humans we need a sort of stability, don't we? That's like how things work. If we feel comfortable where we are, if we feel stable, then we feel like we're okay, we can progress to another form. But if we're things around us are crumbling, we don't know what we're doing, we don't know what we're doing tomorrow, or if we're either going to be able to be let out of the house in like a month's time. You know, it's something that we're not comfortable with, so that's like it's making us unravel a little bit, pulling away at some of the strings that probably we should have been pulled away a very long time ago, but I think it's the perspective of how we should see things right now.
Exactly.
I think the whole never alone does come in hand with, unfortunately, lockdown.
Yeah.
Because, as humans in general, we've shown to be resilient. Probably the last time this happened was obviously years before we were even born. But now, like, fortunate for us, we have the technology, but, never alone, is so strong. Like, even though we are isolated from everyone, our friends or family, but truly we are not never alone, spiritually. Mentally, emotionally, you're never alone. Don't think that you are, even if you live alone. Like, unfortunately, some people are. If anyone in the chat is having to isolate alone, you're not alone. Reach out. A lot of people at home, they've got abundance of time before everything goes back to normal. Reach out. But you are not alone and never alone. It's like, should be the logo, the statement of lockdown.
The hashtag of lockdown should be
never alone.
Never alone.
Yeah.
So it's really powerful. It is.
I guess it's self-explanatory, isn't it? But it's
yeah,
that we just
exactly.
Forget.
Yeah.
We forget. We think we have these problems ahead of us, and we're just like, oh God, I don't know what I'm going to do. I feel like I'm lonely or I'm by myself, but it's a thing where you're just like, you're not.
Exactly.
You're not alone regardless of what you're going through.
Yeah. Because that's how most people feel. Like I myself, like, suffering from like anxiety. You feel a sense of shame, and then you don't want to talk about it because no one else is going to understand, and so you feel like, oh, I'm alone in this, and I think it's just a good reminder, and that's why I like your posts on Never Alone as well. It's like a variety of things, like reminding people, like not just saying, oh, you're never alone, but just like what was you had one that I messaged you about love, to be reminded of that love.
Let all you do be done in love, done with love or something.
Yes, exactly that. Yeah, and exactly what Ingfat said, like that you don't want to, I think that's one of the things, you never want to burden anyone, because you always, especially when you're going through, you have those thoughts and you feel like, oh, you're a burden, or you just feel like, oh, I won't tell anyone because it's nothing. And that's how we, and we'll talk about it more because it kind of like goes with what we're going to talk about today. But
I think lockdown kind of contradicted Never Alone, because the whole burden thing, like I think people needed each other, and then people didn't want to make family and friends worried, so it was like a catch-22 sort of, like, like for me, I caught COVID and I didn't tell anyone because I didn't want anyone to be burdened with the stress of like, will I be okay? Will I make it? But then I needed to tell someone because I was like, what happens? Like, never had it, never been in this situation. So, I think Never Alone does have its catch-22, but we are trying to say in a positive way, we are all here for you. It doesn't matter if you're a stranger, like here, my God, Twitch, like, we don't know these people.
Exactly.
Half these people are from across the pond.
Yeah.
And
but we've got so much love. So much love. And this is what I love about it, and this is why I was so drawn to it. Because imagine like coming out of like, a social media detox and then jump straight onto Twitch. Like, that was crazy. And like that social media detox as well. Well, it wasn't a detox. It was like, I don't want anything to do with the outside world. I'll just isolate myself, and like I don't need to like talk to anyone. And from that, I don't know. I don't know. I lost my frame of thought now.
It's alright.
Proper serious. I know. It's like it's too serious for me. Like trying to like not cry. So I was like, yeah. But No, it was kind of like the two extremes, like not having social media at all, and then all of a sudden like coming onto social media. But then when I went back, I think the reason why I went back onto social media, I said, I want to challenge myself. I want to see if, because obviously I seeked help at that point, and I said, okay, I need to face this. And so I went on social media. For some people, they might think, oh, why are you so worried? It's just social media. Yes, but that's what triggered a lot of my anxiety. So I went on it and I realized, hey, I can be on this without, it shouldn't control, you get deep. It shouldn't control me. I can control, like it's an app. I can control it. I've got the phone to control everything. I can choose what I see and what I don't see. And since then, using social media, it's been so much better. Like, I don't think about what other people think. I'll post a selfie of myself because, you know what, I feel like, yeah, I like that selfie of myself. And, and when I'm old, I'll look back at it and I'll be like, yeah, at least I took a picture of myself. Yeah. And I think, yeah, so I kind of conquered that, and it just felt liberating. Liberating. And also I started off my other page. So going from no social media to Instagram pages. Yeah, the adding part. And it's called Hugatera Diaries. And basically Hugatera, for those that don't know what it means, it's a Tagalog word. It means to extract emotions. Go deep into your thoughts and emotions. Right, Buhay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you know. But yeah, and you know how Filipinos are they're very emotional, and I'm one of those people. I love my Filipino drama. I love my OPM music, and I can sit and cry to like us James, us Sam. Like, I'll just sit and listen to the saddest songs and like be like,
she thinks she's in the music video.
Yeah, I think I'm in the music video, looking out the window and like watching the rain.
She's got the snow for it.
Yeah. But yeah, so at first it started out as like, oh, I'm just gonna put like all these cheesy quotes and like all these love quotes. But the week I came back onto social media was actually Mental Health Week. And I was like, oh, let me put up some encouraging words, or like, and then I started putting up, you matter, what do you call it? You're enough. And like, it went from there. So I still throw in a bit of my Hugots emotional Filipino stuff, but I think now I've focused a lot on empowering.
I had to ask you to come back to Hugots.
Yeah, I know, because I
had to drag Tanya back.
The reason why I felt really like I was really like cringed at myself as well. I was like, oh, no one's gonna like. Who's gonna like this? And like, what am I doing it for? And then I said, hey, I'm doing it for myself. So I may not relate fully to like everything that I'm posting, but I think someone out there, and then I started getting messages, and I've made friends through that account as well.
Yeah.
And it just shows like, okay, yeah, I do. It does make a difference to someone to someone out there.
I think you just start attracting
it.
Hear
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Because my headphones have died, so.
Okay.
Oh, no, we can hear you.
No, we can hear you. We can still hear you.
Okay, good.
But yeah, so it's basically, attracting it. And like, just last week, someone was like, oh, I saw your page. I've got a podcast, and I'd like, it's a Filipino podcast, and I'd like you to like, and I was like, oh, okay. So that maybe there is a purpose to this.
And I think that's exactly, you've hit it on the head with that, because you've allowed social media to use it as a purpose. So before it was more like, okay, mindless scrolling, I'm looking online and I'm just seeing things. But now you've started your own account, and you're starting to upload things which mean something to you. So now you have fulfilled your purpose by
Yeah.
using that
Yeah.
in a meaningful way.
Exactly.
It's more fulfilling, actually.
Yeah, I think
Like,
so as well.
you just stop being chismosa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's true.
You just stop being
Exactly.
chismosa and just doing
And
doing
then
what
I
you're
jumped
attracted
onto
to.
the. I was like, Sam, I'll take on the que sera one as well. And
You
I was
jumped on the
like,
switch.
yeah, I jumped on the. But yeah, no, it's been a journey, and it hasn't been a whole year since like, yeah, since I went off social media and came back on it again. So now I'm back in full force.
Now you're back
Yeah.
on streaming and everything.
Yeah.
Streaming.
Exactly.
It's
Like,
jokes,
who would
it's
have
jokes.
thought? It's funny. CJ, actually, I spoke to your sister today, and
Yeah.
I was like, me and CJ are going. We're streaming
She's probably
tonight,
like,
and
"What?"
she was like, "What?" She was like, "You two."
Why?
Yeah, exactly. She's like,
What's happened?
yeah, she was like, "What's going on?" Like
It's funny because
Well,
we are
find
kind of
out,
like
that's
our
what's going
own
on.
universe.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know Twitch,
Uh-huh.
then you don't know.
exactly.
Like, you are out of the
Exactly.
loop, my friends.
Yeah.
But
And
no,
it's so
like,
hard
obviously-
to like get people
out.
into that. It's hard to get out, and it's hard to get people into it because you just have to be thrown into it.
you really
like,
like. I feel like
yeah.
you have to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
If you've not had any exposure. Like, obviously when Elvin started, I was in the background and I could
Yeah.
see. In the beginning, I was like, oh no, it's another app to get addicted to. I was trying to like not leave social media, but just cut down my time. And
Yeah.
then, like you said, like when you see the Twitch family, it's overwhelming. And unfortunately, it's not face to face, but you feel like you're having chit chats with these people in a coffee shop. And then so then I officially made an account, and then obviously then James came in, and I was like, "Come on, Tan, jump on." Tanya was like, "No," and I was like,
No.
"Okay."
That's
She
like
finally jumped on, and then
cringe,
Jeff, we
no.
took. How long did it take us to get Jeff to jump on? It was like he's like, "No." Jeff came on, and it's
That
like,
was,
okay, so
was
Jeff.
it on October?
Yeah. So
I
we
think
were
it
we
was,
were.
yeah.
I think
It's because it's been a long year for us as well.
Yeah.
We didn't really want to
Yeah.
jump back onto like after
Yeah.
everything that's happened. But, it is a totally different community on Twitch. And even for myself, I try not to go on it as much because I try to be as present as possible in terms of if I want to just be on watch TV, I don't want to be on my phone at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to balance it out as well. But there definitely is like a massive positive community on here.
Yeah.
And it's so nice
I
to see
feel that.
everybody's support.
Yeah. We definitely feel the love. Like, I always feel the love.
Yeah.
Like, on here. Like, it's never like you never feel there's any tension or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just nice. Like, you pop into someone's stream, you say hi. It's like it's really genuine connections.
Yeah.
I want to
And
know
I've-
if I
and-
finally meet someone, will I be like, "Hey, can I give you a bitty?"
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's all you ever do.
I know.
I'm gonna gift you a sub. Is that right?
We just give each other hugs when it's okay to hug again.
Biddy!
Yeah. Or we just throw biddies. There you
We
go.
should meet up. We should meet up and dress as our emotes.
I haven't got one yet, so
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can
so
use
tell-
Jeff's
yeah.
one. You can dress like the queen.
But tell us your plans for your Never Alone channel, or like your
pretty
what are
much
you guys
similar
gonna
to
do?
what we are doing here now as well. Just
Yeah.
going off the back of what we do on Instagram, just a lot of talks on things that are relatable and just bringing awareness to some stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully within the next end of this month or next month, there's been a lot of like female subjects coming up about the whole the Sarah that was was
Yeah.
murdered the other day, and how females are going through so much at the moment.
Yeah.
It's normal that people have been harassed. Like all of us have just been harassed some way or another.
Yeah.
So I think I want to focus on things like that and just get a lot of like people together for my next one, a lot of females together, and just allow us to share our experiences and hopefully educate
other people so that we can move our society forward.
Yeah.
Instead of just talking about it and doing nothing, you know, just complaining, you know, just put stuff into action.
Yeah.
So hopefully within the next month I will do my first stream.
Yay.
And
Solo stream.
going.
Solo stream.
And have like a little chit chat and, you know, just talk about experiences again, because that's all we can do, because our experiences are unique to us, but it can also be relatable to other people. And in some way, shape or form, we can also help others in the same stance. So
Are you going to use the talk box?
I'm going to learn how to use the talk box, and I'm going to shout everybody out.
We want to hear the talk box.
We want to hear the talk box.
The CJ version of talk box. But yeah. But,
I'm going to give you a song.
But yeah, I want to hear that.
Well,
That's cool. I think this year.
In the next one as well.
Yeah, man. Now we're on it. Like Zibonet. No, I think this year is like the voice, women's voice. Like COVID took over the whole of last year, and now this year it's literally women.
Yeah.
We got to. What's a talk box? Talk box.
I think it's good to like that we're raising awareness and talking about these current issues, and not only for us, but for like I myself, I have a daughter.
Yeah.
And you know, I want to instill these things in her, like she understands as she grows up, and like very much, and even us with sons as well, that they understand.
Yeah.
How
just
to
as equally as
exactly.
females.
So it's
we
just
got to breed a new generation.
Exactly.
We got to turn it 360 and not repeat history.
Yeah. But speaking of 360, so we're going to turn it back. We're going to go back to CJ. 360, back to CJ. I wanted to talk to you about your grieving process. In this, I know you've been very open about it. I know you have you and Jeff have these monthly talks with Lil Berries and what else have you done, like apart from having these talks? What else has gotten you through this past year, or how are you processing it, like, you know, the whole how is your grief process going?
I think it's been very much acknowledging how I'm feeling day to day, and also being very open with myself and especially Jeff, because we're going through it together, and just understanding that my grieving is still happening. So it's something that it's like an emptiness in your heart that's never going to go away, but then slowly, bit by bit, if I have like different milestones in my life, if I'm doing this on Twitch, if I'm starting my Never Alone campaign, it's all in honor of the past of my dad, who's always watching over me. So things like that help my grieving, because I've been able to channel the pain into a driven purpose. And I've said this previously already, and I think that's it's taken a while. I mean, it's been a year since my dad passed now, and I'm still grieving. I still dream of him being still being sick, but that's the trauma of it, and that's something that will eventually, hopefully, go away when my grieving settles a little bit more. But I think it's just acknowledging my day-to-day feelings and being open with myself and saying, okay, do you know what? Today is a difficult day. Today I don't really want to do anything, or today I just want to talk to my friend and, you know, just have a crying session, or today I feel like meditating. I have really been drawn to meditating. I think this is not going to be for everybody, because not everybody can just sit there and, you know, just do nothing for like half an hour. But I've found that in me, that I didn't have that before. It's always been there, but not as significant. So now I'm actually meditating more often, and it's really helping me find my self-awareness. And I can use that energy towards healing myself. So once you can become self-aware, that's in itself, that's already healing. I was gifted tarot cards. I'm not sure if you know, like the oracle cards. And I've from JC, I don't know if she's watching, but that came at a perfect time because it was something that I was connected with. So I used that for the first time, and that really helped me because it's like messages from the universe or from your angels or your ancestors, and it just allows you to it gives you the guidance that you need in the moments that you need it. And what else do I do? Yoga has been helping. I'm really into my yoga. So just daily stretches, and I'm saying not every day because not every day is the same.
No,
so it's always whenever I feel like doing it, I'm going to do it. Whenever I feel like exercising, I'm going to do it. And not for the purpose of doing it, but for myself, to help myself feel better. And it's right for myself in that moment. And what else do I do? I think those are probably the main things. A lot of my grieving process now has turned into a bit more of a spiritual journey, and I think that's the thing that's helped me reach that turning point. So now I'm actually going for things that I didn't think I would do before, or it's given me that purpose to be like, actually, do you know what, I'm just going to do it. And it's different for everyone. Grieving is different for everybody. Like, not everybody can just say one day, okay, I'm going to just start a non-profit, because it's got to resonate in you as well. It has to be authentic to you and your journey. And for others, it could just be like, oh, I just don't want to do much today, or I don't want to do anything in a year's time, and that's your journey. But for me, thankfully, I've been able to find this, and now I'm here. So I'm still on that path, and it's still you're still gonna feel it, and I still miss my dad. I think of him every single day. But I feel like you dip in and out of the processes of grief, and I can't remember things like anger, guilt, acceptance. There's 5 processes I can't remember, but those things are the things that you kind of jump in and out of. And I think every moment within this year or during a day, you'll feel something different. So it's just acknowledging. I think that's the main thing, being self-aware and just acknowledging your emotions. And that does help.
Well, thanks for sharing that. And I'm sure a lot of people can, like, if they've been through a similar situation, like if they haven't found the right thing for them to work through this process, maybe they can try something that you've tried, and but also just make sure that if it feels right, exactly,
even if it's just reading. Like I read, that's another thing, I read a lot, and if that's something that's good for you, then do it. If you want to watch a movie that inspires you, then do it.
Exactly.
But just do whatever feels good. Don't do it just because you're doing it.
For the sake of it,
for the sake of doing it. And this, we come into our, our topic for today. It's toxic positivity. I don't know how many of you in the chat know anything about toxic positivity. I put out a question on our Instagram page, one of those surveys, and it was like around 30% that didn't know what it was, and around 60% that knew about toxic positivity. We've got a little definition here, so we can go through that for those who haven't heard of the term before.
Oh, 1 sec. Sorry, CJ.
Okay,
you want to read it, Sam? Because you're the one.
Hold on, let me move you. There you go. Right, so what is toxic positivity? Toxic positivity is the assumption, either by oneself or others, that despite a person's emotional pain or difficult situation, they should only have a positive mindset.
So
let me just take that off.
I'll go to you, CJ. What's your
what's my take
thoughts?
on
Yeah, or have you
positive
experienced it?
positivity?
Like, have you, like, in I mean, during your grieving process, has it?
I think grieving is a difficult thing because others that haven't been through it don't know how to talk to you, and it's something that they're just like, can I say stuff? Is it gonna offend you? Is it gonna hurt you? And I'm mindful of that as well. So I know that people don't mean to say things in the way that it actually comes out.
Yeah.
I have encountered like toxic positivity, especially during this year of like so many grievances and losses where people are just like, oh, it's gonna be okay. Like, or when my dad just passed, I had a friend who said to me, oh, I know what you're going through. My girlfriend went through the same thing. Just just you'll be okay. Just do what you can. It was really, but it just sounded very condescending.
It kind of like deminimizes like your
the situation.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, but do you really know what I'm going through? Are you in the situation I'm in now?
Yeah.
Do you know how much trauma I'm seeing with my dad being really sick and stuff, and like having to care for him at night until like 6 a.m. and then go to work then like the very next day, so no sleeping continuously. So to me that was just a bit like insensitive.
Yeah.
And then after that I just didn't hear from them, so that was quite hurtful.
Yeah, of course.
So I think it's just being mindful of what you're saying, and I think we all need to remember that everyone is healing from something. Like we've all had trauma.
Yeah.
We just need to remember that.
Yeah.
Again, you're not alone through anything.
Yeah.
But don't try to hide what you're going through.
Exactly.
And don't try to put on a positive mask, because then that's how you don't heal from the trauma and the pain that you've been through.
Exactly. And for me, my own personal experience, covering up was my specialty. It's so easy to like, oh yeah, no, I'm fine. You know, if you've watched Friends and Ross goes, I'm fine. You know, that was me.
Yeah.
For so long. I'm just like, I'm fine. Yeah. Like anyone else asks me, I'm fine. And I think I'm stuck now. When I get emotional, I lose my favorite. But I think the point I'm trying to make is when you mask those emotions, they will come out eventually because they're natural emotions.
Yeah.
They're not
You're gonna
to
break.
They're not meant to be suppressed because they're meant to be dealt with. We have to navigate our way through these emotions. Of course, we all want to feel like positive all the time and we want to be happy. But it's just not, that's not how we work as human beings.
Yeah.
We're not always happy.
Yeah.
Even though that is like, the emotion that many strive for. But it's not about just striving for this, oh, now I'm happy. It's this journey, isn't it? So like, yeah.
And I think that's, now that you've come up with that now, I'm thinking through the whole grieving process. I lost my dad in 2019 and then I had to go through that process of grieving for him for 3 months, and then Jeff's dad was diagnosed with the same thing, and then he passed away for 6 months, so I had to suppress my grief and then try to support other people. So we were supporting my mum, we were supporting Jeff's mum at the same time, and then my brother and sister, I was there for them too. And then that's where you get into the process of being like, oh, do you know what, I'm okay, you know. I can look after other people for now, like I'll be okay. You
kind of lie to yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
you kind of
like
convince
saying,
yourself like, oh,
you're
I'm
not
okay.
putting yourself as a priority. You're because you, as a human, you're caring, so your nature is to be caring, so you want to help other people, you want to make sure that they're okay, but then you put your own self at the back of the queue, and
you suffer from it. You're the one that suffers in the end.
And then in what was it, July, we had to move out of our first home, move back into Jeff's mum's house, and then the same month we had to postpone our big wedding. And then my dad's first year death anniversary, I was made redundant on that same day. So all of these things have been happening within the hot space of a year. And I think in between I found pockets of the grieving. So I was just like, oh my God, this is too much. Yeah. I'm so overwhelmed with everything that's happening. And then something else happened. So I'm continuing to try to like duck underwater. I'm pedaling my feet, but on top I'm just like, I'm okay, I can keep going. And then something else happens, and it's it just kind of builds up and builds up. So it eventually, I think it does come out and it explodes. And that's when you have to acknowledge, like, okay, I need to take time to do things for myself.
Exactly.
And
have you exploded yet? Do you feel like you have?
I think I've released quite a bit. I think I've had loads of crying sessions with Jeff and loads of crying sessions with like my friends, and just calling them up, just like ugly crying down the phone, you know, like a lot. I think I've released a lot, and I went to see like a CST therapist who's a I can't remember, something to do with the brain. It's kind of like Reiki. But she was able to go through my chakras and go through my healing energy, and she was just telling me, you know what, you're running low. Your energy, your frequency, you're buzzing so low because you're running on empty, because you're giving that energy to other people, so you're draining yourself. But you need to give something back to you to be able to recharge, and then just be like, okay, I can do this, I can keep going. So I think we don't do it intentionally. We don't have that toxic positivity intentionally. It's a coping mechanism.
Exactly.
And then it's also because you feel like you have no choice.
It's an avoidance strategy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
because you think other things are a priority.
And that's why it's so dangerous when it like quite harmful when someone else says it to you, because then it really deminimizes like what you're feeling. If you're already feeling like shit, and then someone else tells you, "Hey, just cheer up," and it's like, oh, or like
piss off.
You know, it could,
it's like, to piss off.
It's like it could be worse, and I'm like, like, you know, what do you say to that? It's kind of like, and then you just feel invalidated, and it's like, okay. So
I think we always have that sense of gratitude, though, don't we? We're always going to be grateful for what we have.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing as well, because people will say, just be grateful for what you have. Yeah, I am grateful for what I have, but I feel like this at the moment.
Exactly. It shouldn't lessen your emotions.
Yeah. So it's like I can feel what I have to feel. Not saying want to feel. Like these are things that are coming naturally to me. So I feel like this, and I need to deal with it.
Yeah.
Or I just need to tell myself, like, okay, like you said, like today's not a good day. Today's a shit day. So I just, you know, I just need to deal.
Yeah.
In the sense that, okay, I'll do something that will not get my mind off things, but I know myself will make me feel better. I might not feel better there and then, but then if I work towards it, then maybe tomorrow or the day after I feel, okay, I feel better today. Today's a good day. And then you enjoy those good days.
Yeah. And I think that's positivity in itself.
Yeah, see, there's a difference. It's not the false positivity.
Yeah, I think positivity, knowing that today's not a good day, but there will be good days in the future. It doesn't have to be today. It could be, but it's having that faith in something, faith in knowing that something's going to be,
Yeah.
it gets better.
The faith and the hope in like,
Yeah.
it will get better. Yeah, I definitely agree on that point there.
Also, we're not experts on this subject.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If anyone thinks, just a disclaimer,
Disclaimer.
this is just this is just our
We haven't been
own,
trained, we haven't been
opinions and
taught,
experience.
yeah.
It's just been interesting to talk about it, especially like during the pandemic. And then we've got CJ here, who's gone through a very tough, almost 2 years now, and how she's working through it. And I think it's a very interesting topic because I've seen it come up a lot, like because I'm on social media now, and and it comes up a lot, and I have to admit, at one point I was like posting, everyone that knows me, I love posting quotes, whether it resonates to me or whether I just like it, I'll post it, but I used to post like good vibes only. And it kind of like just limits. So what happens to, hey, I'm feeling, or like, we only allow good vibes in here, or we don't want your negative. But what if you're feeling, you're feeling sad that day, or you're upset? Let's say you're going to go meet some friends and they're kind of like, oh, we only want good vibes today. And then you kind of like,
oh, okay. But I wanted to talk to you about something.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or it's like, so I think it's really important to be mindful. I think one thing I've learned in my journey is being more mindful. What I say to people, also like with my Hugotera, what I post there, and kind of like I check the wording as like, will this come across weird, or it's like, not weird, but like, will it come across wrong? I don't want to be giving people this just false positivity. It's not about that. It's like, oh, choose happiness. Of course we'll choose happiness. But it's not like, oh, straight away, I got a magic wand and I'm happy. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work like that. Yeah. So I'm very mindful with quotes like that and good vibes only. Actually, Sam, we've got that little thing that we wanted to show, like common toxic positivity phrases that's
one sec.
being used a lot. No worries.
Okay.
And I think that's what you said as well, Tam, is finding pockets of happiness.
Yeah.
It could be pockets of happiness within your day.
Yeah.
That could just be like waking up in the morning and having like a good stretch in your duvet.
Exactly.
That's a pocket of happiness.
Yeah.
Having your first cup of tea in the morning, that's like, or coffee, that's your pocket of happiness. But it doesn't necessarily mean that every single moment of your life has to be happy. Uplit, like bouncing around the house and pretending like everything is all good.
Exactly. And it doesn't mean you're ungrateful just because you're upset, feeling this negative emotion or whatever. It doesn't have to be negative emotion. If you're feeling sad, that is an emotion in itself. It doesn't have to be branded as something negative.
Yeah.
Because it's like, for example, like your dad passing, you're not going to feel, no one's going to feel happy.
Yeah.
That is a natural emotion.
Yeah.
That you're going
to
feel, sadness
and be negative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people need to understand, that these are all natural emotions, because like can't be good vibes
all the time. Yeah.
All the time.
I think it's like with our parents, like their upbringing, they were only shown this way rather than, that's the only way. That's the only way to live by.
Yeah.
And then they kind of like put it on us. And then as we became adults, we came to the realization that actually that's not how we should live. We shouldn't suppress our feelings. We became actually more vocal. And we are now trying to change and traumatized. Yeah. I mean, who hasn't got trauma? My gosh. But I think like now it's more accepted, and we're now trying to break the barriers with the next generation.
Yeah.
Like, in our last stream, we were talking about Leia Leia's 4 years old. I did
Yeah.
not see myself at 4 years old asking my mum to give me a corner to meditate or be alone or just have, you know, affirmations like that would, well, one, I was never exposed to that, but two, you know, I don't think some, you know, from our generations, from the 80s, 90s, I don't think kids said that.
No.
So, you know, now we're breaking boundaries. It's a movement in itself. We see it on Twitch. We see it with the people we talk to. You know, a lot of people do post it, and you know, Twitch has gone from DJing to talking to comforting. So, you know, it's a good movement for now.
Yeah, it's like
And
free
I think
therapy.
it should also be that we're thankful for us being in this position too, because our parents were the ones that probably had to go through that.
They got the biggest trauma.
Yeah, exactly.
They've got the biggest trauma.
They probably felt that they had to go through that so that they can actually make it here.
Yeah.
And now we're in a position where we can actually push this forward.
Yeah.
And we can do something with what we have and the platform that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was reading someone's post. They were dedicating it to their mum, who passed away. And they were like, when they were growing up, they kind of remembered their mum always being angry, not angry at them, but just being angry. And then they realized that she had every right to be angry. She had so much going on, like personally, and then family wise, like the kids weren't helping out, the husband wasn't helping out, work wasn't going well. And she was like, you know, had my mum spoken to someone, or had she reached out to her own kids, to her own husband, would she have remembered her mum as being mad all the time? And that really like put it into perspective. Like, I don't want Jake to remember me as being a mad mum, because I wasn't talking to anybody, or I thought that that's how I should survive. I should just be mad because that's the situation I'm in. But that was really interesting. Like, how do you know, we've all got amazing mums, amazing parents. You know, some people, you know, have one or the other, but you know, it was quite enlightening to, you know, you don't realize how you actually remember someone.
Yeah.
When someone says, you know, I always remember my mum being mad.
Yeah.
So
it's
that,
funny
you know,
how you say that. Yeah. Sorry. I'll let you.
No, it's okay. No, like, you know, when you think about your own mum, it's like, okay, maybe I understand why my mum was mad that day. Maybe I didn't do something I should have done to help her emotion, like not help like physically, but probably mentally, because I was unaware. Whereas now, like, you know, Leia again with the great example. She can, my God, that child.
Yeah.
I love her. You know, she can, you know, speak out. She's like, you know, I want to be alone. I want to meditate. I want to, you know, do affirmations, which is great.
Yeah, she just comes out with these affirmations, and me and James, I asked James, I was like, did you tell her that? And he was like, no. And then I was like, okay. And she's always about like, my heart is telling me that I need to, you know, she's like, my heart's telling me I'm hungry. Like, she'll say stuff like that, but, you know, or like, my heart's telling me that I love you. And like, so she's very like, she'll just come out with things like that. And, but the affirmation she said that day was just, I was shocked, because she went to me, she said, be brave. No, she said, stay calm, be brave, and be happy, Mama. And then I was like, okay. Like,
it kind of shocked you.
Yeah. I was like,
okay.
I was like, did you watch that somewhere? Like, have you been watching like yoga on YouTube, or have you been speaking to Ninang CJ or something? Like, or Uncle,
what's your source?
Or Uncle,
what is your source?
Uncle Jeff, or like,
who's your dealer?
Yeah. But no, it's amazing, because she inspires me.
Yeah.
And just those words, like, you know, I needed those words that day. And so it is, and Sam, I want to go back to like what you were saying, like how our parents were angry, and like how we saw, like when I was going through like anxiety and I was feeling like, you know, on the point of like depression, I felt at one point, actually, I had a friend point out to me, she's like, you don't want your kids remembering you as a sad mum. And this is a point where it turned around and I seeked help, because it came to that point where it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm doing it for myself first, but also, yeah, I don't want my kids to remember me as being that sad mum, you know,
Yeah.
or like, yeah. So, but
No,
Yeah.
you know, we have to really like change it. Like even with Jake, for book week, so instead of a character from a story, we were told to pick an adjective. So I was like, oh my gosh, like Tanya knows. I was like, what the hell? How do I dress a child as an adjective? And I was like Googling and going on Pinterest, and I was like, oh my God, we're only in nursery and I'm struggling. And then I was like, okay, let me ask Jake himself. So I was like, Jake, this is your homework. You need to pick a word. And I threw all the words that he knew and would understand. And Jake picked happy. So I was like, okay, why do you want to pick happy? And he's like, I like the word happy. I want to be happy. And I was like, okay. And I was like, are you sure? Like, you could be any other word. Like, you could be, I don't know, fast, hungry. I don't know what words I gave him. And he was like, no, mummy, I want to be happy. Thank you. There you
there you go.
There you
Mr. Happy.
Mr. Happy. He was like, I want to be happy, mummy. I want the word happy. And I was like, okay. And I went with that. And today, like, Jake is a bit unwell. He's got the flu. And he just turned around. He says, I'm happy. And I was like, why? And he's like, I like being happy. And I'm like, okay. Like, that's our affirmation for the day. And
Yeah.
I've never told him about the word happy. Like, I've never elaborated on that word.
But I think you guys need to remember that your children are a product of their environment. So you're indirectly or directly allowing them to feel this, like the way that they feel. And then that's the same thing that Jeff and I are trying to do as well. So we can build ourselves up so that eventually when it is our time, we can teach our children just by the way that we are. So it's not even spoken words sometimes. It's just like the way that you interact with them, or the way that you're, talking to your partners or your husbands. So it's always just like a factor. I don't have children yet.
Yeah.
The product of our environment is...
Your child's in the chat. Sorry, Jeff.
Still somewhere in the stars. Coming soon. Don't worry. We've had that experience
Your
already.
child's in the chat.
Oh.
No, I think it's more like growing up, it was kids were seen but not heard. Whereas now it's like you best see it and you need to hear it.
Yeah. I think it's the way we talk to them as well.
Yeah.
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 We do talk to them as kids, but we don't in a way.
Yeah.
You kind of evolve the way you conversate with them.
Yeah.
Hence
We talk a
why-
lot emotions at home.
Yeah.
Like
And that's where it stems from as well, though, Tanya, isn't it?
yeah.
Because you're allowing Leia to be very open and vocal about her emotions. So she'll just come up to you and be like, my heart.
Yeah, my heart.
Today, my heart.
Yeah. She's like, my heart says,
I love that.
I love you. And and what else was I?
Wasn't there that
that post? Yep.
post?
That post, that's right.
All right, so we're gonna disappear. Yes, babe.
And then after we can go into the chat and ask what so here we've got a few phrases that's commonly used nowadays. So toxic positivity phrases. So we've got don't worry, be happy. That was used for a very long, obviously because of the song and everything. Yes, the thought behind it, don't worry, be happy, like, but some things you need to work through. And you won't be happy instantly. And then we've got some supportive, validating stuff. So this could be something yeah, I think bleh. um, see, this is what's difficult with being trilingual. Like sometimes I think in Swedish and then
Try translating
yeah,
into English.
no, I'm trying. No, sometimes I'm thinking in Swedish, and I'm so careful, like, not for it to come out
In Swedish.
Because in my head, like, I'm like thinking, and then sometimes like Tagalog, like I'll mix it up, and yeah. So, yeah, bear with me. So yeah, it's okay not to be okay, and that's something we've seen a lot this past year, and I think it's very reassuring for many people because it's kind of like that burden of shame is kind of like, okay, it's fine. I am allowed to. It's allowing yourself to feel
Yeah.
that way if you're not feeling great.
Yeah, no one is perfect. Don't
exactly.
feel like you have to be positive and happy all the time. It's not right. It's not normal. Whoever says it is, no. You'll end up cracking.
Yeah.
If you have pride,
Yeah.
if you have pride, you need to swallow it at some point
Yeah.
because it won't help you in the long run.
Yeah. And what's the other one? It's it could be worse. I mean, an alternative to that could be, this is really tiny. I can't even.
Why don't you get up on your phone?
Other people's experiences don't make yours less important.
Yes. but yeah. And what's good vibes only?
No,
it doesn't say good. All feelings are valid. So this is what we've been talking about the whole time, that all feelings are valid. CJ, can you read that?
Failure is not an option, and instead we can use the supportive and validation phrase as failure is part of growth. And then the last one is just think happy thoughts. And instead it could be, this is hard, how do you feel and what do you need?
Mm-hmm. I know.
I think the last one is the hard one.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are afraid to say, how do you feel and what do you need?
Yeah.
Especially if they've had no experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's taboo to them.
Yeah. I'm like that. Like whenever something happens and like I've had a few friends and even like family that's had cancer and I've never known what to say.
I think from my
and I think
point, it's not necessarily having to say anything. It's just saying, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
And that's literally all.
And I think that's what I've learned. And it was the same, obviously with you and Kaz.
Yeah.
Like, and I realized at one point, because it was Kaz that was called, Kaz is CJ's sister, and she was calling me, and I was like, oh, this is what she needs. I realized that this is what she needs. She's not asking me to do anything. She's calling me. She wants to talk. And we didn't always talk about your dad. It was talking about other stuff. And I realized things like that help. And I think that was, I learned something during your grieving process as well. How I can be more mindful, how I can be there for people without me feeling like, I don't know what to say. I might say something wrong, or, and yeah.
And I think that's something quite important to pick up on, especially if you have a friend or somebody that you're trying to support that's going through that grieving process.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily having to say anything. It's just you messaging them like once a day, or or picking up the phone, just being like, how are you? Are you okay? Because when you go through the whole cancer and you have like my dad, 3 months he was suffering from cancer and he went through quite a hard time. And then he passed away. And then after he passed, that's when things go back to normal. So you yourself, everything has changed. Nothing is going to be never going to be the same for you. But then people around you are going back to normal. So everybody around you has almost stopped to check up on you or stopped to give you a call because they don't know what to say. And because they think, oh, okay, the hardest part is over. I think that's what people think, the hardest part is over. But actually, it's just the beginning. So it's for anybody that needs maybe a little bit of advice on what to do for anyone they're trying to support another person, is just to make sure you check up on them and just to text them saying, how are you today? Or just be like, I'm here if you need anything. And it's so simple. And it's the same thing with anyone going through mental health problems, or that they need some support. That's all you can say. Just text them and let them know that you're there for them. And that's it.
Any noise is better than no noise. Like
no, I was go ahead.
Like with me and Tanya, me and Tanya talk a lot, and when I know Tanya, I need to leave Tanya alone, I will. But I won't talk to her. I won't ask her how she is, what she's doing. I'll send her a stupid video. I will send her something that's so random. And if she doesn't reply to me, I'll leave her. And then probably a couple of days later, I'll do it again. I'll send her a funny picture I found or a stupid link. If she still hasn't said anything, I still leave her alone until when she talks to me. Then I'm good to go. I will talk to Tanya, but I will just. Those are kind of like those are my noises. So I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Tag.
Like, and I knew that, like, that was you checking in on me, and it's the same with you, CJ. Like, I think it was really difficult for me at one point. When I went all quiet there for a while. What was most difficult for me when someone would ask me, how are you? It's such a simple question, but I really didn't know how to answer it because I was like, how am I going to write this long? And it was just exhausting. Like,
what do you say? Do you tell them the truth?
Do I just tell them the truth? And then it comes back to like what we were talking about earlier. Like, I don't want to burden anyone. Like, I don't want. Hi Kim. Hi JC. Like, I never wanted to like burden anyone with what I was feeling, and it was weird, like, because that one question would raise so much anxiety in me. And I know that like, for example, you would message me, and when Sam used to message me, and then I'd have this guilt as well, like, oh, I'm not responding, they're gonna think like this and that of me, and it's so many thoughts, and but it's weird just that. But I appreciate everyone that I know. A lot of people reached out to me, but it was the fact that I really didn't know what to say.
In response to them asking,
yes, I could write, I'm fine. But I wasn't feeling fine. That's why it was so difficult for me to write, I'm fine, because it's that's not how I was feeling. But then I wasn't going to write this whole paragraph of like, actually, I'm not feeling that great. Like,
it's too loud.
And then I think sometimes you're kind of scared to how people will respond to you. I don't want anyone feeling sorry for me. All these thoughts are going through my head. And I think the biggest part was like, I didn't want to burden anyone, because it's like, I was always thinking, oh, they've got bigger problems than me. This is nothing. It kind of like, and this is toxic positive, like, it's kind of like, it's kind of like you try to convince yourself you're fine. And it, so it works on yourself as well. You can feed yourself with all this toxic positivity stuff and say, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm just going to put a smile on my face and, all good. but it doesn't really help. And in the end, it comes out.
Yeah.
And
I think a form of toxic positivity is literally just fear.
yeah,
Fear of judgment and fear of self-judgment.
yeah,
Because you're
definitely.
thinking, maybe I should just say I'm okay, because other people will just be like, oh, they're okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're saying to yourself, I should be okay. So you're judging yourself because you're thinking, I should be okay.
I think for me, it was I have to be okay.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like forcing myself that I have to be okay. I have no choice but to
Yeah.
be okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I was convincing myself. And the more I would say it, the more I'd kind of like hurt myself by saying that. Because the more I was saying I was okay, the more I wasn't
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So it does more damage than
Then good, yeah.
good.
Like you think you're surviving, but actually you're sinking. You're
Yeah.
slowly sinking.
Exactly. So yeah, that's actually
It's
the
hard.
first time I've spoken about like openly. See,
Openly, yeah.
like speaking, yeah. And
I think
probably
it's
got some
hard
people
because we've been
listening
told just to smile all the time, just be happy.
here.
Because like you'd be surprised, like those people you see on Twitch who are like the happiest, really are not happy. Yeah. They could be wearing the biggest mask, and you would have no idea.
Yeah.
And whether they've
Yeah.
dealt with it personally or they haven't figured it out.
Yeah.
You know, if you do have a fake mask on Twitch, you know, we can help you take that down. Reach out to
come in
anybody,
here.
us three. Yeah, come in here.
You come in here.
Reach out.
You know.
To help you.
There is no there's no judging on
No,
Twitch.
there's no judging. No.
Like people are streaming. I'm streaming in the bedroom. People look jump on and they're on the toilet. There's no judging
Yeah.
people. If you're new on the
Exactly.
chat, if you're watching and you're not a member of Twitch, it's just just reach out to someone, man. Take off that mask.
Yeah.
Take off your mascara. Use that micellar
Wipe that
water.
off.
Yeah. Punas.
Yeah. No, it's part of it, like the whole healing process. Just letting it go and letting it out. I think we're so scared to talk. And this is really me stepping out of my comfort zone, talking.
And it's
And it's
probably
helpful.
healing for
Yes.
you as well, right?
Exactly. And that's exactly how I've felt. And like, sorry, this is like off topic, but you're talking about people on Twitch, but if you talk about social media as well, like Instagram, I think when I realized, or like when I told myself Instagram's not real, that's fact. People will rarely post. There are people that post, you know, the reality of things. But most of the time people will post the happy moments, which is fine because it's nice to share happy moments with people. But you just have, I think a lot of people don't realize that it's not real. Especially like when you follow all these influencers and stuff.
Yeah.
That
I try not to follow them.
Yeah. I've
It's
unfollowed a lot
toxic.
of, yeah. Well, I follow Filipino ones because I have to keep up with
You
the
have to know.
Filipino showbiz. Me and
I was
Celine.
actually listening to a podcast the other day. I'm really into my podcast as well, so I was listening to the podcast. And this topic came up as well. It was about a lot of living your best life on social media, especially Instagram. And then she made a really interesting point. So she was just like, so when you take photos back in the day, maybe in the 80s, and you would take photos of like your birthday or like the best times in your life, and you put that in an album, and then you show somebody, okay, this is my album of this year, would you put in the bad stuff in there as well? So that's flipping the whole Instagram thing on its head, because it's just like, okay, yeah, we are living our best. We would tend to put our best life in our Instagram feed, in our Instagram posts and stuff. But because technology has moved on so much, it allows us to do things really instantly. But then it's also the thing of it being quite negative, well, it being quite triggering as well, because it could be you always just putting stuff up that are
Yeah.
faking
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
whatever it is that you're
Yeah.
trying to show living your best life.
Yeah.
So it's when I
It's
heard
a
that, I was
balance,
like, that's a
isn't
really
it?
interesting point.
Yeah.
So it is exactly. It's always going to
Yeah.
be a balance of.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to always put this stuff up? Like on
Yeah.
my personal Instagram, I don't think I've posted anything for like a year or so, or since, you know, Father's Day or something, because I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I've had so many good moments during this time,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean I need to put things up all the time. And I think that's
Exactly.
where it should lie. Like if it feels right for you to do it, not because you're pressured to do it, because
Exactly.
you're trying to keep up with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think this whole mindfulness is a trend now. So
Oh, hi, Lani.
hi. Like in terms of mindfulness being having all these affirmations and having these mantras up and doing yoga and doing all of these things that are perceived as mindfulness, right? So for me, I love doing all that stuff because that's authentic to who I am.
Yeah.
But because there's almost a movement of it going on for it to happen, positivity and all of this stuff happening, other people are trying to jump on that bandwagon that probably doesn't resonate with them.
Exactly, because it's a
So
trend. Like it
exactly.
kind of becomes
so
like
they're
a trend.
just trying to, they're feeling, maybe I need to do this to feel good. Maybe I need to start meditating to feel good, but it doesn't really serve them. So, but then they're still doing it. So that's the difference between trying to be mindful, but being authentic with yourself and being mindful with what you're consuming and whether it aligns with who you are and whether it's the right energy for you. So it always goes back to just being authentic to yourself and doing things which are right.
Yeah.
And not to be pressured to do things because everybody else is doing it.
I agree. Like, sometimes you'll feel inspired by what other people are doing. I don't know if Roses is still in here, and she inspired me to, because I would see her doing the gratitude journal. And I was like, oh, I want to do
That's
that.
why you sent it to us.
Yeah, and then so I bought one for myself, and then I sent it to all the girls, and then I was like, oh, this is really good. Like it's helped me just to write, because it's just a really simple journal where you just write what you're grateful for and just reflect on like the day, and I don't pressure myself to do it every day.
Same.
If some days I just not feeling to write, then I feel that's fine. And just doing like this past year, just been doing things that I enjoy. James got me a Kindle for my birthday, so I've just like downloaded like loads of books there, and you know, some inspiring books, and and it's been really helpful because that makes me happy. I think it's.
Sam, what things have you been doing that help you?
Me, obviously it's been hard. I wish I was furloughed, but I can't.
No such thing for you.
No such thing.
Yeah,
for you.
there's no such thing for me.
The show
So
must go on.
If no one doesn't know what I do for a living, I'm a nurse. So I have been right in the middle of COVID, in the beginning. So literally on Friday, I celebrated. Well, I shouldn't celebrate, but it was 1 year since my first patient, and we're still in the same place. So from March to June, I was in limbo. I was literally just working like a dog, and trying to survive. I was worried that I was coming home and I could potentially, because I didn't know what COVID was, I could potentially kill my husband and Jake because there was no treatment for it. And then I decided to finally launch Buhay Taglish. So for a long time, for as long as I can remember, people were always telling me that I needed to teach Tagalog or just talk about Tagalog in general. And so I actually created the account in March, and I was lurking on Instagram. I was trying to see what was out there. if there was anyone who had the same idea as I did. So I found a few accounts and I kept on delaying it. First because I was scared. Yes, baby. Thank you. First because I was scared, because I had pushed it back for so many years. Second of all, obviously, I didn't have any time. And then when I finally did it in June, it was kind of like my distraction from COVID. It was my outlet. I've met amazing people on there. I've connected on the people with Twitch as well. It's just I rarely see anything COVID related, which is a good thing, because the one thing I hate about COVID was I'd get in a taxi and the driver would want to talk about COVID, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about COVID. I just either talk to me about anything else, but I don't want to talk about COVID. So I used to just fake sleep my journey just so I'd avoid it. When I come home, like before Elvin was streaming, I don't know what he was doing. I think he was just looking at the four walls. I would just come home and I would just want to just sleep. I was knackered. But so technically Instagram has been my savior. Like I said, I put the effort. I have to like research the words, make the template and post it. So it kind of takes my mind off. Other than that, I really can't do anything apart from talk to my husband, talk to my friends, spend time with my son and work. It's just anyone who's a nurse or a key worker or anyone who hasn't, who still had to work through COVID, like, it's been very hard. I can't wait for it to be done. I can't wait to see everyone. I think one of the things that really hit me, and I hope I don't cry, was when we had to visit Jeff. I couldn't hug Jeff. I had to stand across the street from Jeff's house when we found out about Jeff's dad. And that's when it hit me. I couldn't hug CJ. I couldn't be anywhere near CJ. And that's when it hit me. I was like, oh my God, I can't go near anyone. I don't know if I'm going to kill someone. It was early in the year. So it was like everyone was having it. And the only thing I wanted to do was to join that group hug. Like that group hug will always stay in my head because I literally had to stand across the street. Like Elvin had to ask permission if we can go down. And I was like, let's go, but let's just be careful. I won't go near the house. I won't go near Jeff or anyone. That was difficult. That really got to me. I was like, I hope no one else I know passes away. I know Ninong didn't pass away of COVID, but he was in a COVID situation. I couldn't, I couldn't grieve with CJ and Jeff. I couldn't attend the funeral. I was at work when Ninong was being buried. I was in the drug room at work, just drawing up my medication, watching my Ninong's funeral. That was, I haven't told anyone about that. Only Elvin knew that I was working. That was hard. That got to me. And he wasn't the only funeral I watched at work. I watched a few funerals at work while I was doing my drug medication. That was the only time I could watch, was when I was doing my medication. I would have my phone on and I would watch, people I knew, my friends' parents being buried. That was hard. So, COVID has been horrible in a sense that I couldn't grieve with people. What we'd normally do prior to COVID, I couldn't do any of that. So I'm grateful for setting up Buhay Taglish, for finally, getting the courage to create that profile, jumping on Twitch, meeting everyone. I don't know how I'm coping. I think I haven't broke yet. I think I'm going to break. I haven't had a break. The only time I had a break was when I caught COVID and when I sprained my ankle. But other than that, I haven't had any time to reflect properly. COVID hasn't not left my life yet. It's a part of me. So coping wise, I'm waiting for me to snap. I don't know if it's a gradual snap or it'll be a big snap, but I am waiting for it. But right now I'm okay. What we're doing now is great. Especially that, Tanya is like far from us. I can't jump on a plane. Normally I'd be like, Tanya, are you free this week, this month? I'm just booking a ticket to Sweden. So yeah, so Buhai Taglish on Instagram and Twitch has been my coping mechanism. It's so funny because I didn't want social media to be I didn't want social media. I was trying to wean myself, and I ended up being on it even more. But that there is my coping mechanism. So
and I think it goes back to the purpose of why we're using social media now, that we can use this platform in a good way.
Exactly.
It's actually helping. We're using it instead of it using us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
And then it just shows like how much sacrifice you've had to go through, Sam, as well. Like, in a sense, all of us are going through some sort of grieving because we've lost something, freedom, like, and some form of identity of who we are. Yeah. And like it's just brought all of us together. And I think everybody, in a sense, is kind of going through some sort of grieving. Yeah. And so we're here now, we're talking, so at least we have each other.
And
that's why we say take off your mask off. You're never alone. Exactly. That's why
that's why it's so like it's so important. Like what you do is so important. Like what you've created, what you and Jeff have created is so important. It's it's we all need it. And just the fact that I think the message today is you're never alone.
Never alone.
Always, like exactly what you said, CJ. Like we're all going through something. Yeah. And I think, and also, I just want to remind people, like whatever you're going through, don't compare it to anyone else's. Yeah. What anyone else is going through, because your path and your journey is different from everyone else. So I think that's an important, and I think once I understood that, it was easier for me to accept what I was going through. Yeah. When I stopped comparing my problems or whatever I was going through to other people, then it's kind of like, okay, I'll just deal with this the way I can and what's best for me.
Because it's natural.
And and it's always going to be an ongoing journey. Yeah. It's not going to be easy. And you're not going to be able to cover it up either. Because eventually
you'll get to a point where you explode, or
you will break. You will, exactly.
It's like filling a glass. You're filling it so much with water. Yeah. Eventually, it's just going to overfill. Yeah. But then you need to have like a hole at the bottom for you to release things so it flows naturally. And I think that's what we need to do with all the energy that's going into us. Somehow find a release so that it can flow through us and then it can help us cleanse. Yeah.
And that's why I'm so for all this self-love and self-care, and also like just being there for other people, understanding other people. I'm more mindful with how I speak to people. Yeah. I think that's because I've been in that situation. I've learned how I deal with other people when they go through stuff. Yeah. And like I said, I learned from you guys as well through your grieving process how I can be, because you like you feel like crap yourself because you're like, oh, I can't help them. How am I supposed to? I'm such a shit friend. But like you just saying, you just have to be there. Sometimes that's enough.
Yeah, that's all you need. Yeah.
So yeah. So you kind of feel helpless, like, oh, how can I help? What can I do? But then when I
It's like we
realized,
said earlier,
yeah,
any noise is better than no noise.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Just connect. Say I don't know. Do any like. Well, everything's virtual right now, but
Yeah.
like just
Yeah,
send that stupid link. If you see a funny meme that reminds you of a specific
exactly.
person, tag them, screen share it.
True.
That's connecting. That's showing
Sam would
someone that
send me like these most awkward, weird Filipino memes. I'm like, yeah, made me smile. I was like, I just, yeah. But you got me, and I think everyone that knows me understood me, and I think in hindsight, I see what everyone was doing. Then I was kind of like I was blinded by everything, but I think in hindsight I see how people were reaching out.
Yeah.
So I
you
appreciate
have to reach out.
everyone. Reach out.
Reach out to anyone.
Speak to someone, even if it's a
Speak to
stranger,
some-
because sometimes a
Yeah.
stranger is the one that can help you the most.
So true. That's so
Because
true.
they don't know your situation and they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So it's
You'll
just
get a
having
different
someone
perspective.
Non-biased.
Yeah.
They don't know you, and that's
And
why
that's-
therapy works.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And
Should we go?
that's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to say, and that's what's happened with like the Never Alone stuff as well. We've just been in contact with some people that we're technically strangers, but because we've connected on a certain level,
Yeah.
they can just like talk to me and just be like, okay, can you know, I'm not feeling too good today.
Yeah.
And that's it. The voice note
Yeah.
is such
Yeah.
an easy thing, just a
Yeah.
voice note. And it doesn't mean you have to go back to them straight. Like,
Yeah.
if you're the one that's not, like what you said, Tanya, you didn't know how to go back to
Yeah.
us or the people that were
Yeah,
checking up
exactly.
on you.
Yeah.
You don't have to. Like, there's no pressure for it.
Yeah.
You
Because
just have to
there's
remember
this
that too.
there's this post that circulated, and it's this this woman. She's written like this really long paragraph, and she writes something like, and then she crosses out everything. So she writes, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. Been doing this and that," but in between everything she's crossed out, yesterday I had a panic attack, and everything in
It's
between,
like all the underlying
yeah,
stuff.
all the
is
underlying
really
stuff.
there. Yeah.
But then she just like, yeah, and that really, I related to, because that's exactly what I wanted to write, but I couldn't. And going back to like, how are you? It's such that, and that's so important as well. Checking in on people, just saying, "Hey, how are you? How are things?" I think it's such a simple question,
Yeah.
but I found it was such a complex question for me then. Yeah.
I mean, if you don't know how to reach out to someone, it doesn't have to be hi, how are you? There's no right or wrong way
No,
about
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Just don't be toxic,
Yeah.
obviously.
Exactly.
Or
exactly.
just send like a heart emoji
Yeah.
or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't know what to say.
If you don't know what to say,
yeah.
reach out. Like
Yeah.
Jasmine, like my friend Jasmine,
Yeah.
she used to live in the UK. She moved to America.
Yeah.
She's someone I personally know. She's someone who has been through stuff. Jazz, if you're there, if you want me to say your story, if not, it's fine. But there she goes. Hi.
Hi.
Bye.
So she's originally from UK. She moved to America to be with her husband. She was someone who was active on social media, and then she went quiet. I had noticed, but I didn't reach out to her. But I knew she was quiet, and then she finally told us on Instagram that she had been battling cancer. Right now, I think she is in remission. Haven't been on my personal account for a while. She's planning to come back, and when she did post about that, I did reach out to her. I did tell her that I did notice that she was missing, but I didn't want to intervene. At the time, I felt I was probably invading her space, but I was watching her, and she's obviously told me the reasons. But that was a good example for me. I was like, maybe I should have said something earlier, not to be nosy, but just to check in on her, especially what we were going through. But now, like, we'll say something in passing to each other, and I hope that Jasmine, I hope that's helped you in some way. I know it's hard being away from the UK right now. She's trying to come home. Fingers crossed that's soon. But yeah, like that's an example of reaching out to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have to remember that everyone's going through their own things.
Exactly.
But we should also show compassion to each other.
Yeah.
So like what you said, my feelings are also valid. We should also have compassion for others as well at the same time. So it's about
don't be chismosas. Just check in.
Just check
don't
in.
be chismosas. Just check in.
Yeah. No, and I understand like if I message someone and they don't respond, then you know
that they don't want to talk, and it's fine.
Exactly. And I won't force it out of them, and I just say I'm here if you need me. So just to reassure that person, like, I love you, and when you're ready, well, say when you're ready to talk, then I'm here for you.
I'm waiting.
Like
I'm waiting for Tanya.
But yeah, wow, this has been a great, like, I was really anxious and really nervous about this.
Me too.
Like, because I didn't really know, like, I'm not going to joke, like, I'd written loads of stuff in my notebook.
Your assignment. How is your assignment?
I'd written like an essay, like I'm gonna
like me,
talk
though,
about
I
this.
write stuff down too.
Like
I'm a writer.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna bring this up, and like we're gonna talk about this, and we're gonna go, deep into this, and I just love where this whole thing has brought us, and how it's naturally and just organically, like, that we've been able to speak about what we intended to speak about, but then also talk about stuff outside it, but still related to it.
It's been a long time coming. Funnily enough, we actually talked about it before our husbands jumped on. They just jumped on without planning.
Exactly.
Come here. Yeah, we had to plan this.
Yeah, and also we had to postpone this twice because both James and I had COVID last month. Luckily, it wasn't like severe, but we were both we were knocked out basically, and we weren't feeling great, and like we've got 3 kids under the age of 8. So yeah, it was a difficult time. Like, and also we've talked a lot the last couple of days about. I think when we both got COVID, I think at the back of my mind, obviously because what's happened to other people have died from this, and like, and at one point when I was feeling I said, I hope this is the worst of it for me, because I was really scared. Like, what if it gets worse, or even for James. And that was quite scary, that experience.
I bloody diagnosed you over the phone.
I know, like, because I was telling her, I was like, oh, I feel like this. And then I think James jumped onto a call with Elvin, and I was coughing in the background. And then she messages me. She's like, I think she's like, you sound COVID. And I was like, oh, and then
I was like, I hope I'm wrong, but you sound COVID.
And then 2 minutes later, I get my results from my COVID test, and like it's positive. But yeah, me and James, we're really grateful. Like, we've come out of it. Like, we're still feeling like tired and lethargic from it, but we're grateful that we got through that, and we talk about it, and it was weird because during the time we had COVID, I think you were talking about it, Sam, last year. You didn't want to tell anyone, And it is still kind of stigma. I think people feel, I was kind of scared to like tell people, even though people that are far away, it was just, I don't know.
It felt like, yeah, it felt like
Yeah.
it was a stigma to have. Like, I
Yeah.
told my parents a year later
Yeah.
that I had COVID. I was umming and umming. I was like, maybe I should
Yeah.
just leave it and not tell my parents.
Yeah.
But I was just like, let me just tell them.
Yeah.
But at the time, I told, I made Elvin keep a promise to me. I was like, don't tell anyone about it. I said, unless the worst happened to me, then fair enough. You're going to have to tell my parents, your parents. But I was like, no one needs to know I have COVID. There was like a shame about it in the beginning because people just thought you were contagious. But yeah, like no one knew. A lot of people were shocked. And I was like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't tell people. Yes, baby. I just didn't want people to worry about me.
Yeah.
Okay, go to daddy, yeah? I can't get it. Go to daddy.
And that's usually the case. We never want to burden
People, yeah. Stop it. Go
and I
ask
think
daddy.
that's a mindset a lot of us have to change, because I realized like that a lot of people are actually there for you. They want to be there for you.
Yeah.
And that's what I have learned, that people actually want to be there for me.
I think sometimes we overanalyze things.
We overthink things and
then we put stories in our head that aren't necessarily there.
Yeah. I think
So that's something that we could probably take away from this conversation.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest takeaway, and I think it's just to continue not this positive but the not the positive, yes, the positive mindset, but also the mindset of like continuously growing, continuously learning. And I think a lot of things we learn through experience, but a lot of things we learn through educating ourselves. And I think that's very important as well. Educating ourselves, like especially like this, like this how you speak to people, being mindful of people. Because maybe now you think, oh, maybe I shouldn't talk about that, or maybe I shouldn't say it in that way to offend someone.
I think as long as you say things with love,
exactly,
not in a malicious way, then it would usually intend to be received with "I care for you."
Yeah, or in a condescending way as well.
Yeah,
I think that happens quite a lot, especially in our culture as well. Very.
You have to be quiet.
Yeah.
I just want to say, anyone who had COVID in the chat, tell someone. Don't be ashamed. You haven't got the well, you do have the lurgies, but you know,
hopefully you got the antibodies.
You get better, obviously, but tell someone. Seriously, tell someone.
You're never alone.
Exactly, you're never alone.
Put on that tune.
All right, you.
But yeah.
Tune, Sam.
So that what's your takeaway on this
conversation?
Yeah, this conversation.
I think it's continuing to allow ourselves to grow and give us, and also making opportunities where you can grow. Being self-aware, so that we can almost watch our emotions instead of becoming our emotions. So instead of being, I'm angry today because I'm angry, you could just be like, I'm angry today because this, and this. And that's how you can heal from it.
Yeah.
And just to be open and to just make sure that we are there for each other.
Yeah.
And that we know that we have other people around us that are willing to listen to some of our bad days. And that's the most important thing. That we're all here for each other and we're not alone.
Yeah. No, I feel it's for me. It's like life is a balance. Of course, we're going to be positive, but also for us to be positive, we have to feel the other emotions as well. Yeah. And like I was saying, I'm probably going to work towards the mindset of growth rather than the mindset of just always being positive in that sense. But if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's done.
See, it's a sweet. I was like, does that sound like I just literally translated it from like Swedish
to English?
Yeah, to English, and they're like,
what?
Yeah. Everyone's like, what did she just say? She's speaking Swedish. Is she? What language is that?
You got your krong krong ka na.
Exactly.
Na krong krong ka na.
Yeah. So, what's your biggest takeaway on this, Sam?
My biggest takeaway: everyone is on the same bloody boat.
Yeah.
We just need to reach out more. Don't forget your button out. Yeah, we're all on the same boat. Everybody is, especially now, everybody is going through something. You're never alone.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you're alone. Reach out to someone. Reach out to
us if you want.
If you want, yeah.
I've got 3 social media accounts. So any one of those, Katsura, Hugatera, my private one, you know. But no, seriously, on a serious level, like, you know, I've connected with a lot of people. There are some people that are actually in the chat that I only talk to on Instagram, which is like, it's like talking to a stranger, but it's like you connect. Only God can judge.
Only Elvin, go away.
But yeah.
So tanga.
Yeah. And then goes back to the name of the episode, Never Alone, and to your organization.
Are you trying to do a heart? Oh my God. I'm at the bottom. It's easy for me. It's you too.
No.
It's going to look like YMCA.
I just do this.
It's going to look like the YMCA.
Hey, should we interact with the chat? Thank you, guys. Like, I see it's been... Sorry, I haven't really been able to read the chat.
I've been watching.
That much.
That's why I've been quiet. But thank you to everyone. You know, thank you to all the bitties, all the subs, all the comments.
For your
your time and just like spending time with us and taking time to listen to us. As we said, we're not experts, but in any of these topics, but we've just...
There's no reference, please.
Yeah, exactly.
These are all personal.
My
personal
notes
opinions.
are still here. I can share
your
them
assignment. Let me see your assignment.
I even stuck some on the wall and stuff.
Let me see your assignment. Well, you look like a bloody doctor.
Yeah,
Tanya.
My little doctor's office.
Doctora Tanya.
But yeah, so grateful for everyone in the chat. Even those that don't have Twitch that are listening to us, thank you for taking your time for watching us. Yeah, we
really appreciate it.
And hopefully some of you there in the chat can join us next time. If you come up with any topics you'd want to talk about, just hit us up and let us know. Or if you want to guest on our show. CJ, I was thinking, do you guys have any events coming up?
In the pipelines, we have another fundraiser coming up. And other than that, we've got the talks that we're hopefully going to start doing for Never Alone LDN on Twitch. But with Never Alone, I think it's just that at the moment. But for myself, I'm starting my Reiki class.
Close.
Yeah. You speaking Swedish?
Yeah.
You're from Sweden? Yeah.
I'm starting my Reiki class on Saturday, so hopefully in a year's time I can actually perform Reiki professionally in like hospitals and stuff. So I'm aiming to get holistic therapy for like cancer patients. So that would be exciting.
Oh, that's really good.
Nice.
One step towards my spiritual journey.
That's really nice. Thanks for sharing that, and thank you for sharing yourself today. Like, being open
Thank you for
with
having
us. It's not.
me.
I know it's not easy to talk about the things like talking about grief and can say
Can you?
Too quick.
It was there for a while ago, I
Yeah.
think. So
Go on, Tan.
puss, puss.
What should I say? Tell me what I'm gonna
Oh
say.
God, these look. No. Oh my gosh. Someone give Tanya something to say.
Probably.
The double.
Oh, is Jeff on now?
Oh yeah, Jeff, are you streaming?
I think he's going on.
Okay, we can hang
Okay,
about.
Yeah.
We can hang for you.
Yeah, we'll hang. When's it going on?
I think he must be getting ready now.
Okay. Well, let us know.
Okay. Jeff Rock, let us know. We can still chismis.
Yeah.
We can be sira-sira now.
Sam, maybe shout people out in the chat.
Yeah. You're good at that. I can't even see.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Roll call. Let's
Like-
go. Oh my God. Hold up. Let me get the list up. Oh my God. So we want to thank our husbands because they're the tech guy,
Behind the scenes.
they're the tech guy, the Canva guy, the sub guy, the beauty guys. Yeah. Men can multitask. Only if it's technology. Galing.
See, I give
Palakpakan.
them props. Yay.
Palakpakan.
For modding us this time.
In it for modding.
So we've added all the husbands as mods now as well. So
No excuse.
we've
No excuse.
designated that to you.
Our manager is in there, Celine.
Celine, thank
She's
you.
manager of the Kesira Sira fan club.
Glenda. She's there.
Glenda's
I'm
been
excited to
knighted.
see.
Oh God, Glenda, what did you catch?
Glenda, what did you catch today?
If anyone wants to see amazing editing skills in like 5 seconds, where is she? Anyone who doesn't know Glenda, please follow her on Instagram.
She's the one. She always
She's the wizard.
The best moments.
best.
Like every time I'm like, how did she capture that moment?
She is the wizard of editing, man. She's amazing. So I'm gonna go through the list in the order. So my brother is there. Hey Bong.
Hi,
Who isn't a
Bong.
bot? All Music FM. Che. Oh, Madonna. Mga Madonna is there. Day Day. The Double. My brother-in-law, Tony Blaze.
This
Ink
is
pad.
the Sira moment. Sira moment.
This is the Sirama. This is the bloopers. Who else? Inkpat and Jancy Inkpat. Jasmine. J. De Leon. Should I say Lily Skies? Marquesa Music. Nix, another Madonna. QB.
All the
QB is
Madonnas.
Mr. Hugotero. Ramit. Doña Roses. Sto Mariah. This is Raf, Virgil. And I'm assuming the rest are all bots. Abbott Costello, definitely a bot.
Do we even have? Oh no, CJ's our mod.
I'm your mod.
Yo,
CJ is our Madonna.
CJ's our mod.
She is our Madonna. But thank you, everyone.
Thank you. We're
some of
I'm
you-
so grateful. We're grateful.
It's
I hope you
been-
understood
something
my
away from
Swedish.
Please
Say
follow.
something.
Huh?
What, in Swedish?
Did you say something? in
No,
Swedish?
I said
No,
I hope
she-
everyone understood me speaking.
That sounded
No.
Swedish.
Probably sounded Swedish.
But thank you, everyone. If you're new, I know there's a lot of people who have joined Twitch for the first time. Please follow our channel so you can get notified when we're next. Follow our Instagram pages. So technically, all our usernames:
Yeah.
Charlene, Tanya, me.
No, so
Follow
Instagram.
us. There's our Instagrams. me and Tanya, we don't have set dates. It's my fault.
The-
my
her
rota is
rota.
not confused. So
But
Tanya has
we
to
try
follow
to
me.
stream. We try to stream twice a month. That's our goal at the moment. If we can stream some more, then we will, because this is fun.
It is.
So, yeah.
So they can't. Who? Someone set up a poll. Who should be the next guest? And Glenda won.
Send
But
the
they put
link.
Glenda. They put Glenda 3 times. I don't know if you can see on your phones.
What? Glenda?
To
Oh,
be our
there,
next
who,
guest.
Glenda or Glenda.
who should be? Oh, Glenda.
Centric. Good morning. Good day, mate.
G'day, mate.
We're turning into our husbands.
I know. How you doing, mate? How's it going?
Cracking. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry.
Is CJ frozen?
No, she's
Oh, she,
No, I'm just messaging Jeff.
She's
to
a
see if
snow.
he's ready.
is he on already?
he's still a talking. Roses. Yes,
still
can't
there.
wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't have set dates. It's not like the
No.
boys where they're on every Monday.
So,
We are on
yeah.
at different dates, but it will always be
Mhm.
the same
Around this time. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
should've
Like,
been
especially
for
because
having me. Thank
I
you,
do-
because this is my first
No.
interview and it feels like it's been really natural. So.
yeah, I really like that it's been natural, and like, especially because I was really nervous.
I know she
I was
messaged me.
I messaged her. I was like, I'm really nervous. I was like, what if I don't know what to say? And like, and I was telling James as well. I was like, should I say this? He was like, don't overthink it. I was like, should I tell a joke or something?
Tell a joke.
I will pay for that.
What? Yeah. So yeah, but now I think for the next one, because last time it was just more, we were just talking, you and me, and this time it was a bit more structured, but still very organic.
Free flowing, yeah.
Yeah,
Free
we had a
flowing,
topic.
yeah.
The first one was just like whatever went,
Yeah,
whatever happened in
Yeah.
that chat.
exactly. And no,
No,
I'm
it's been
so
good.
grateful. Like, I really wasn't expecting, well, I wasn't expecting that many people to come on, and like, I was kind of like
I
thinking at one
wasn't.
point, oh my gosh, I'm just flooding everyone's feed with our faces.
Yeah, that's what I've done on all of the Instagrams
I
as well.
was like, I put it on like all my accounts, but I'm just like, yeah, I just need to stop overthinking things
Well
like
done,
that.
babe. Well done. Fucking well done.
All right, thanks. Your one's coming soon.
Stay where you are. Stay where you are.
They wanted the link.
I feel like FBI. Stay. No, we are not giving the link. Our husbands are allowed in the chat, but they're not allowed to stream with us.
No,
This is our
They're on
time.
probation.
Yeah, this
They're
is
on
our time.
probation.
if you want, we can go on Twitch is how you do it, and you can interview us.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh no, that'll be dangerous. I'd probably throw chinellas at Elvin.
We will do a little takeover.
Does anyone know if Jeff is on now in the chat? Anybody? Because he's not answering me.
Maybe
Is
it's
Jeff Brock on?
He's run away.
I can.
Is he on?
Oh, he's setting up. Yeah. Yeah, I can see him live.
Are you on mod duty, CJ?
Who, me? No.
Yeah.
I'm a mod as well. So no,
I'm not a mod.
you haven't been knighted.
Oh, but I can make you one though, Tanya, if you want to.
It's on your. Yeah, I can. If it's for you. No, I'm joking. Not
Yeah,
for Jeff.
Never
Yeah,
Alone.
no. Yeah, no.
So if anyone is willing to also follow us on Never Alone, please do so.
I'll put up
because
the.
we don't. But then it's Never Alone without the dot in the middle
Oh, on Twitch.
on Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
On
Looking
Twitch,
forward
it's
to
Never
that.
Alone.
To your solo stream.
See how that goes, eh?
Yeah.
Should
Should we
good.
say a
It's
fun
fine.
fact about CJ?
What fun facts go?
CJ, she was in a Dove commercial.
Yeah.
And what was I doing?
Yoga. See?
Yo, she was upside down.
Yeah. CJ was in a Dove commercial. It should be on YouTube. Let's
Yeah,
find
I think
that
it's
one
still
time.
We've all been famous. Tanya used
Yeah,
to be a model.
in the Philippines, I made a ketchup commercial. Only for you, Alvin. Only for you. All that ketchup. Ketchup
That's
for
ketchup.
life. I was known as a ketchup girl at school in the Philippines.
Ketchup girl.
You were never
I'm
a
Dove
ketchup
girl.
She's Dove girl.
Dove girl.
And then
What did I do? I saw off the president of the Philippines.
yeah. In her gown.
So when President Fidel Ramos came to London, I was with a dance group and we kind of greeted him in Dorchester Hotel, and I kind of got pushed back and my mum wasn't pleased. So she made me write a letter to the Philippine embassy, and they responded and they were like, come down to the embassy to meet the president. And I had to miss school. My mum left me in the Philippine embassy. I was in a gown and I got driven to the airport. I don't know which airport it was. And I got to see off President Fidel Ramos on the tarmac. For what reason? Yeah,
you like
literally
this?
waving. Yeah. And I was put in the Filipino newspaper. My mum has the clipping. I need that clipping. But that's probably my only limelight. That and probably seeing my hand when Michael Jackson came to the O2 to say he was doing his tours. That's about it. That's my only fame.
Claim to fame.
Yeah. And I made a commercial for, Caladril, Calamine. For mosquito.
Oh my god, what
So,
I was in that, I was just like
off lotion.
look at this. Like that's a it's no joke. That was
What the hell? Do you know what? If I'm ever gonna give you a random gift, it's gonna be banana ketchup and a mosquito.
banana ketchup
Yeah,
and a
there you go.
mosquito repel, or mosquito cream.
That's so random. Did you get spotted, or was made to do these things?
No, spotted. You're walking in the mall.
Walking in the mall
the mall, yeah.
and they spot you.
Yeah, they just spot
Do they
you.
still spot in
They can't-
Philippines?
I don't think they do that anymore. They probably go on social media and find people. But back
Or
then,
Star Magic?
in the 90s, they all went around with like cards and stuff.
Mm.
Oh, I'm from
That's like me as well. That's how it happened to me.
in London.
What for Dove?
Oxford Street, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see some people that just get pulled over in Oxford Street. I was there
Me and
yesterday.
Celine was pulled over in Oxford Street. I don't know if
For
Celine's
what now?
still in this chat, but there was one time we were
Well, like those fake studio.
we were in an
portraits
extra. No, we were in the. They were like, "Oh, do you want to be an extra in the movie?" And me and Celine were like, "Okay." Like, and then we just followed this guy. He was like, "Yeah, it's just down here." And now in hindsight, it probably like was a bit weird that we just like went. So and then it was and then we went into like this bar or like this basement somewhere. And then so we were just in the back. But Nico was with us, right? I can't remember. But yeah, so we were. I don't know what movie that was. So
Pause. That's all I'm saying. Pause. Because
so,
the people in the chat they'll say something stupid. Pause.
what are they saying?
Well, nothing yet, but yeah, pause.
But yeah,
Is
So-
Jeff Brock ready?
Yeah, he's ready. He's on now.
Is he ready?
fake movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's ready. Cool.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you to everyone that locked in. Oh, yan na, si
Yeah.
Jeff Brock. Okay, we're coming, Jeff Brock.
We're coming.
Put your
Coming for you,
mother,
hubby.
put your mother queen outfit, ha? Don't let me down.
Thank you guys
Yeah.
for this space and for
Oh.
allowing me to
No
Oh,
worries. Thank you
no
to
worries.
everyone. It was crazy.
Do you want to stay on after?
Who? Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me just do the raiding malarkey. Wait, Elvin, James, can I raid on StreamYards again? Or do I have to go to Twitch?
Proper like newbies.
I'm sending
And-
you the link, fam.
Wait.
And I was really
Lumayas
nervous
ka.
as well.
Liars. Do I have to go on Twitch to raid or can I do it on StreamYards?
Oh no, I'm not even a mod on here because I'm using my Never Alone account.
Oh,
No, it's okay.
it's okay.
Where is
I'm-
the husbands? Are we editors? I don't remember.
No, you're not.
Oh, you
It's just
hindi daw.
CJ.
So I have to go back on Twitch.
Just
Thank you, D-Double. Teka muna. Gawin ko to. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank
Your
you.
presence has been amazing. Appreciated. I was not expecting to cry, but there you go.
you release.
Thank
That's
you.
your form of release, Sam. You,
That's
you
my
managed to
release.
let some stuff out.
Si Kuya Double. Right.
So
So
it was
thank you,
very
everyone. Like I
Thank
said,
you.
if you are new to Twitch, please follow us so you can catch our next episode. We haven't got a date yet, but we will update you.
And we will
once-
tell you because we will post.
We will harass you.
We
will
will harass
flood.
you with a.
We're like, we could come to your house. Come to our stream.
Come to our show, please. But yeah, so our show will be a mixture of everything. It'll be
Seryoso.
conversations and
Sira.
crazy Syrah moments. But yeah.
Yes, palakpakan. Right, so let me read out. So also to the newbies, please stay. If you don't know Jeff, get to know him.
Get
He
to
will
know.
not disappoint. He is the husband of Charlene
June.
He's my love.
June. Your
Charlene.
lover for life.
He's my lover for life.
Your bush baby.
If we had audio, I would have put a Hugot song for you.
Oh, you and QV can do that. Mr. Hugutera, I
Hugot.
saw him post. He posted more set today. I saw you, QB. I saw you. But thank you, everyone. Everyone keep safe. Take care. And we will see you on our next stream. We are now going to raid Jeff Nang. Bye, guys.
Thank you. We're still here.
Yeah.
Pretend it's frozen.
Right, we want the link. Me, Jimbo, QV,